Hello, I'm Brian.
And I'm Natalie.
And welcome to our BaseCamp barn project. We're filming this morning at the Montrose Rotary Amphitheater. It's a beautiful facility, and it's got the coolest bike racks I've ever seen.
In this episode, we begin our drive to Montrose, Colorado.
It's roughly a 2,000-mile trip, so the plan is to divide it into two segments. The first segment will be to drive to my sister's house in Texas, roughly 1,000 miles. It's a 3-day hop. The goal was to get there by Easter weekend to spend time with my mom, my sister, and my brother-in-law.
We left on a Tuesday so we could be sure to get there before Good Friday.
Along the way, we ran smack dab into a serious spring weather front. Will we make it to Texas for Easter? Watch and find out. So what are we doing, you might ask? Our plans are to build a RV garage with some living space in Montrose, Colorado. We're going to call it the BaseCamp Barn Project. So that's kind of the plan, is document the process, document our progress, try to have some fun while we're doing it. So that's where we're going right now. This is our spring Easter trip. Going to do Easter with my family and then head on up to Colorado and Montrose. So we're on the road. We just entered South Carolina a little bit ago. We got some diesel. About the cheapest diesel we'll probably find on this entire trip. We're not pushing too hard today because it's kind of a short day. We got out of the house at, we left 11:30-ish, 11:40. We're on 77 South right now. We're gonna turn right at Augusta and go west. That's where the 20 starts, or we'll start on the 20 anyway. And it's 20 all the way to Texas. Driving. We'll actually make a pit stop at the state line, Georgia. Just doing a walkabout and stretching the legs. Gotta check your tires. Obviously you got TPMS's, so they're usually pretty accurate. This one's always been wearing funky. I don't know what's wrong with it. keeping an eye on it. Make sure all your bays are still closed. Just make sure you haven't picked up anything. You gotta make sure your connections are still good. Just do a walkabout. Stretch the legs. So we're approaching our first stop of the trip, Lake Oconee. We really like this place because two reasons why we like it. Because we've got family here, so we can visit them and they can visit us for the overnight. The other reason why we like this campground is it's close to Charlotte. If we bug out at noon or get through Charlotte traffic, around noon, it makes a good first stop for the trip. I like to pull into camp before dark. We've done it about 6 times now. This might be the 7th trip that we've done this direction. That's why we're going to 20. This is the way to Michelle and Walt's house. This is the way to Mom's. And this way, once they moved here, or once they moved there, and we've been traveling a little bit with our base camp, this is what we've been doing. So this has always worked out pretty good. Here, a month and a half ago, in that spot right there, and that's where we filmed Power Pancakes on Lake Oconee. So we kind of like this spot. This is a good spot. We got all the vehicles here in one piece. Yeah. Natalie's first day of driving.
I know, my first day in a long distance drive in a long time. Day number 1.
Day number 1. We got dinner planned with family.
We're going out to dinner.
We've already got base camp set up for the night, so we'll see you in the morning, guys.
We're gonna hit it tomorrow morning.
We're gonna hit it hard. We got a big day, yep. Another travel day tomorrow.
Big drive day tomorrow.
Good morning. We are packing up here on Lake Oconee this morning, heading west. We had a good night's sleep. Had a nice visit with family last night. But we're heading to a Bass Pro Shop in Pearl, Mississippi for the evening. But we've got to navigate through a line of thunderstorms that are going eastbound right along the 20. I think Dallas got hit pretty good last night. But yeah, it's going to be a long day, 480 miles or so for the trip today. And we'll make a few stops just to stretch legs and whatnot. But here we go. Okay, you ready for this?
I don't know. Are we gonna get dead storms?
Let's see. That's why we're starting early.
I know.
Giddy up.
We gotta do 400. I gotta do 400. For you, it's nothing.
Okay. So we're driving into a storm. I don't think we'll pass through it, but I'd like to be parked before we get there, or before it gets to us. We're approaching the Alabama border. Welcome center's just on the other side, so we'll be stopping there. Boom. There's a state line, just caught it. Sweet Home, Alabama. Had a little bit of sun for a few minutes. It's clouding back up, so we'll take a check of weather when we get stopped. Do a pit stop, get a little snack, get back on the road. Trying to beat the storm, heading to Jackson, Mississippi, and the way it all times out, we might be parking right about the time that storm front passes over, so we're trying to beat it a little bit so that we can park before it gets there. We are a couple miles away from the border of Mississippi. Mississippi, making progress. Like we might make it. We've got 70 miles to go. We're driving 70 miles an hour on average. I mean, going up hills we're a little slower, down just a tick faster. We've got clouds building, but still, look, there's still blue sky right here. You know, so we've had puffy clouds. We've had puffy clouds all the way. I still haven't seen anything too dark, but technically we're 80 miles or so away from the front. We should be able to get there roughly 10 minutes before the storm hits. Darkness growing in up there. We're getting close. 35 miles from our exit. So.
That's a good day for
rookie driver.
In awesome. My book, yeah, not a long haul driver. So yeah, we did like 460. That's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did okay.
And look at this puppy, she did it too.
East, let me get the track on it.
I know, I'm working on it. That's an official tornado warning siren if you've never heard one before. We are in Mississippi, obviously in a parking lot, and there is a front passing through that we've been able to park and be settled before it got to us. But we are in a storm warning box right now. Sirens went off. Woo! Nice to know. Phones went off. Cell phones went off, even though we're not from here.
Seriously, they said something's coming this way. It's going to be here in about 3 minutes. So
Watching this cloud right here.
it could be here, but it's coming from this way or this way. And they said, yes, it's coming 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're saying, but I'm just watching these clouds and I don't see the rotation.
But yeah, I think there's something going on over there.
Yeah.
'Cause that's weird looking.
Clouds going in a different way than your
Then the
wind,
flag.
then
Yeah,
you got problems really close by. I don't know if we can
See it. Look at these clouds. I'll try to hang slow or hang still.
They're going northwest, and the other clouds are going northeast
Uh-huh.
at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I find that really weird. Like there's different levels in the atmosphere are doing different things.
Yeah, there's lightning down that way.
Yeah, there's lightning over there.
So way back in my youth, I used to work for Ralt America, which was a Super V team. And for half the season, we were based out of Indianapolis, Indiana,
Okay. That was the year we were engaged.
1989.
89.
And so we would be in this apartment and hear sirens and see the sky like this. And what would we do? We
You
were
went out.
young and stupid,
You
just
went
like we are now. We went outside to see what we could see, because doggone it, we've never seen a tornado before in our lives.
What could it look like? But then you saw something like this at our North Carolina property.
Yes.
You saw something, you were outside and you saw something
So,
and you're like, this was weird too.
We had, you know, a warning when we were at our new shop in North Carolina, and you know, the phones went berserk, and so we went outside. It was just like this. It wasn't raining, it was a little breezy, but the clouds were doing something funky, and I was watching them, and a tornado did touch down a mile or so
from where
northeast
we
of
were.
us. Yes. So it had the bones of it starting, you know, right where we were, but it didn't touch down at us. But the same kind of thing. The clouds were low like this and just traveling a direction different than the wind. And there really isn't any wind, but those clouds are booking.
Front is sucking them in.
That's not a good
Something
sign.
over here, like a black hole, is sucking them in.
Not good.
So anyway, that's round one. We got round two coming in about an hour. We survived. So we're hitting the road early and heading to see Mom for Easter. So everything's good. It's a beautiful morning, not a cloud in the sky after last night's chaos. It's gonna be a good day.
This particular 2012, this particular track from OTA, which celebrated its 10th anniversary back in January, but had an interesting climb for the Billboard chart.
Got a state border coming up, going out of Mississippi into Louisiana, going over the Mississippi River. We're in Louisiana. Kind of one of the things that we see when we're driving west is the landscape changes. We start with, lots and lots of trees. The whole East Coast is covered with trees, obviously. But the further west you go, it's not that the trees get sparse, they just seem to get shorter. And so I'll show you, a couple clips here of Louisiana's trees after we just left Mississippi and we were in a tree tunnel. Here it's just a little bit less tunnel-like. And there's plenty of trees, although there's a lot of farm fields here. But it just, by the time you get to Texas, the trees get smaller and thicker and shorter and stouter, I guess you would say, because there's probably less water. They're more hardy trees. As soon as you pass Dallas, Fort Worth area, trees become shrubs, and then pretty soon there's sagebrush and tumbleweeds. It's kind of interesting as you see it going west. Where are we?
We are in western Louisiana at a rest stop right off of I-20.
Yay, we made it through Mississippi. We made it through last night's storms, and it's a beautiful day today for driving.
It's very nice. Yeah, much nicer than yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're about to bug out of here. Anyway, we're bugging out. 90 miles to the Texas border. Rock and roll. Beautiful day for a drive. Well, we made it safely to my sister's house, and yes, we had a wonderful Easter with Mom.
We even had a little bit of time to play with their real Italian pizza oven that they have in their backyard.
Fun with family. Tune in next episode as we see the Rockies.
And get to see our property for the first time.
Thanks for watching.